Hey folks, it's Dr. Groovy, Scott Grove from GroovyMusicLessons.com. Here's what we're going to learn today. If you dig it, stick around, okay? Again, if that interests you, very cool. If you think you've heard some of this before, it's been on one video many years ago. I'll put a link below. It is Banjo Rolls by Scott Grove, if you just want to look it up, which were some of the same chords from the beginning, which sounded like this, if you want to go learn those. So if you're interested in that, go check out the Banjo Rolls, okay? So on with the lesson. Okay, so here we go with the actual learning part of this. Some people might be wondering, what the heck is that guitar? It's one I actually butchered by putting the 3 pickups in it. I went in there and carved it out. Actually, it's a one-off Fender Telecaster. Yes, it was made this way and made to be very special, and I just had to have it this way to suit my needs. But I'm going to be on the bridge pickup the entire time. So, doing what this is doing, I'm not going to use a pick. If you guys want to use a pick, fine and dandy. Go right at it. I'm going to make most of this so that it is very pick friendly if you're quick with a pick. Okay? There's nothing here that can't be done without it. If you're doing finger picking, watch what I'm doing, because it's fairly basic, okay? If you're a beginner or something, I wouldn't suggest this. You might grab a few licks from it, okay? And as you notice from the beginning, there are 2 definite sections to this, both equally as cool, I think. The second section with double stops, this first section with basically just a version of one chord and then a second chord, and that is it. Okay, so you might go ahead and grab the couple chords. Okay, this is in G. G, C, and D are the only 3 chords in it. The backing track you heard is the one I'll be using. Okay, so the first part. Okay, I'm actually doing banjo rolls, or you can just pick whatever you want to do with your guitar pick, fine with me, okay? If you want to pick these out the way I'm getting ready to show you, do it. Okay, so what we're using here is a form of a G chord, which is going to be your 3rd finger at the 9th fret on the D string, 1st finger at the 7th fret, G string, and your middle finger, your 2nd finger at the 8th fret here on the B string. You're going to leave the E string open, which is the sound of this chord. So you have. Okay, so the whole trick to this is being fancy with the open E and being fancy with, your 3rd finger or your ring finger. Okay, because we're going to be going. And believe it or not, that's going to be your C chord. It's just moving your ring finger back one. That's that cool Western swing sound that you had heard earlier. That's just actually a version of a C. Okay, so that's quite cool that you can do it with the movement of just one finger. Okay, so with this here in mind, if you're going to do a banjo roll, it's thumb on the D. We're going to put our middle finger on the B string, first finger on the G string. I'm going to use my middle finger to grab the high E. So it is thumb, middle finger, first, thumb, then high E. Okay, if not, if you want to do something else, okay, you could do on the D string with your pick, and then just play the other 3 strings like this. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is not strictly by what I went and played. I'll show you exactly what I played, but we're doing ideas here, and you can do what you want with them. You can go back and listen to the beginning thing, and I'll do that beginning thing again to show you exactly how I played it. But again, the ideas here are very cool. It's a matter of how much you want to take this pinky going back to the 8th fret while the G thing is going on before we switch to the C, which just goes or, okay, depending on which way you're going around picking. Okay, so we had, okay, you can do that, or okay, that old type of sound. Okay, so it's up to you on how much of that or how little of that you want to do, how much of this you want to put in, or if you're going to do the rolls. But again, you have or, okay, finger picking if you want to. It's totally up to you, but that is a groovy G formation and C formation if I ever heard one. Okay, so with the backing track, I had this. Okay, so that's how I had it. Not too crazy. So that's what I did. Okay, now the next chord is going to be your D, which is cool too. It's going to utilize the open E string as well when we let off of a thing. Okay, you can use the D string if you want to because it's there, but I don't use it, so it's up to you. Okay, from G string, B string to E string, we're using 5th fret on the G, going down to the 3rd fret, quite a stretch, on the B, 2nd fret on the high E. And you're going to do a pull off on the high E string. Doing thumb. So it's going down, pull off, B string, G string. Or, for you double stop pickers, or for you pickers. Okay, I'm just pretending I have a pick and it sounds about the same. Back up to the G. Okay, So this in context is here. So it's just simply going back up to the G and doing what you will. I know it sounds like there's a lot more going on. That's just because they're such cool chords, and you have that open E on everything, which shouldn't be there on the G and shouldn't be there on the D, but of course they're part of the scale, so that's fine. That's what makes it sound so dissonant and groovy. Of course in the C it's expected. But the C chord is such a swing sounding deal that makes it cool. Okay, so that's how that stuff goes. Now the double stops. How I played it on the intro. That is all done on the G and B string. Okay, so with a pick, just two. We're doing open G and B strings almost every other time while we're in G. Okay, it's different for the other ones, but for these in G, okay, going to the 12th fret on B and G, on the G and the B string. Okay, just to get fresh in my mind and yours how it can fit in. Go here, let's do it with the music. Okay, so it's actually four of that. So four of hammering down on here. First one's open. Okay, so you end on the fourth one being placed down. Or, as I do. Okay, and that's going up to the 15th fret. Same two strings through all this. Okay, so you grab them. I'm using my ring finger and bending it so the G string goes up half step. Then same thing. And doing 4 times again when you hit the last one. And going down to the 10th fret. Okay, so whatever fits in for you, you don't have to do 4 times. If you go fine and dandy, it's your guitar. So that's what's been going there, and there's a lot of that exact same thing, the spacing that goes on during the C as well. The D is something a lot less complicated, actually. Not that this is complicated, it just sounds like it because it's... Okay. Okay, you see how I actually get on with it the second time around? Okay, so like that, half the time, meaning half of the space, half of the time. Okay, so that's how I did it the second time. The way I actually said you could play it if you wanted to, it's your guitar. That's the way I played it the second time around. Okay, so that's how that goes. Then, see. That's how I did it. Okay, have to remind myself, no biggie. Okay, so back with the same thing. Okay, so that's going the whole measure. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times hitting that. Then okay, so we do 6 times total, but we do 5, and then we count 6 down the 6th time as okay, which is 12 and open, sorry, 12 and 12, open, 10 and 10, open, 9 and 8, open, 7 and 6, then right directly to 5 and 5. That's your C. That's when the chord changes go to C. Now when I go there, we do the same thing. And then we'll go back up to the G stuff again. Okay, so I know I'm not skipping the C stuff. We got more to do on here. So that's 5, open, and 5, and open, and 5. Same thing we were doing before. Same amount of frets that we're skipping. We're going forward 3 frets up here to the 8th fret. Okay, back to the G. Almost the same as before, because we're going just same as before. So all this is the same. We skip the C because we're not going to C, we're staying in G. So we just skip that C and go directly to 4 and 3. Down a half 1 fret to 3 and 2. Down 1 fret to 2 and 1. Then open, open. So that one. Did it slide there? Maybe I did it, maybe I didn't on the actual, you do what you want. Okay, and now this is when we get to the D. Okay, so more of this. It's all double stop stuff. So we're going to the D, which is at the 7th and 7th. Okay, we're starting open. Okay, open, 7, 7. Sorry. Open. Now 6 and 6. And 5 and 5. Now open 7, 7 again. Okay. That last one is this. Again, the first one. Next one's different. Has to be. Okay, so that's open and 7, 7. Open and 5, 5. Open and open. Now we do each of these one time. Okay, that's where we're 4-3, 3-2, 2-1, open, open. So, and I definitely do the slide there up to the 4 and the 3. Then we do open G. Okay, slide up with our middle finger up to the 5th fret of the D string. And hit the G string again open. Down to the 3rd fret. So we're playing D string and then alternating to the G string. 2nd fret. Okay. Now we do a 3-note hammer-on the A string. Okay. Open 2nd, 3rd. Opening G string. Slide from 2nd to 3rd fret on the low E, and that is it. Okay, so the last part, using all the double stops. So that's it in its entirety. Okay, one more time just so you can check that out. Okay, so that's the second part. Okay, so the whole thing together, we're going to have this. Okay, so that's the whole deal in its entirety. You get to go without backing tracks this time because Fender, with the G deck amplifier, which I'm using with these backing tracks, gets on my case for letting you guys jam along with them, even though they don't make the amp anymore, and even though they don't make the presets anymore or the backing tracks. They still get on my case for letting you practice with them. So, you get the jam with me, and that's about it. Okay? So, again, hopefully there's some cool stuff there, and don't always play everything in G. Use the ideas in different places. I know the open G strings and the open other stuff is there to make everything groovy, but even if you were to go up into A, you can leave out the high E or just go ahead and play it since it's just another E string. You got an E ringing on your G string, but and again even here that there's still cool. The A stuff, again, you don't have the open G to make it sound cool, but you can go. Okay, you can kind of do that with a G thing here, or try it with the open G string, see if it gets cluttered or in your way. But anyway, the whole point is try it in other keys, see what works, see what doesn't. Most of the licks will, especially the stuff if you leave out the open G and things, if you're just going like that kind of thing and not doing open strings, just using false notes. Okay, so there you go. That's everything I have for you thus far today. If anything else pops in my head, I'll plug back in. And once again, thanks to the young man who made this guitar strap for me way back when. Love it, still use it all the time. A lot of folks made me some leather guitar straps. Dig them, I love them. You guys play fast, you guys play slow, you guys play tasty, and play groovy. I'm out of here. Later. Bye-bye.